You feel like you are drifting on a sea of dreary, unexciting monotony, and you cannot see the shoreline of the comforting, satisfying island where you're racing. Don't worry, you are not alone. In fact, you are a part of the largest group of people on this planet. You don't know what to do with your life, and you don't know how to find out either. The first thing to understand is that this is perfectly normal. People are not born knowing what their ultimate role in society is going to be. Instead, they are born with endless possibilities from which to discover their calling. The problem is that while the choice is immense, the choosing is ever so difficult. What's more, life is in constant flux, and the right choice changes as your journey unravels. No wonder so many of us find ourselves with a nagging feeling that there might be so much more out there if we could only reach it. If you've stumbled across this article, chances are that you are one of these people. With this in mind, here are some pointers for you to follow that should steer you in the right direction to finally uncover the thing you really want to achieve in life. 1. It's okay you can't figure out the whole future. Remember, you don't know what's coming next. Life is full of interesting twists and turns, but if we continually pursue things that we enjoy doing, whether for a job or hobby, it will make the journey interesting and more fun. Maybe you enjoy making jewelry right now. Maybe you can sell it. In 5 years, you might be a successful jewelry designer, or you might have moved on to another craft. It doesn't matter. You have the experience of your jewelry design to fall back on and help you with other projects in the future. 2. Try to be comfortable with discomfort. Sometimes life is uncomfortable. Sometimes we don't have enough money to do all of the things we want to do. If you have something you really want to pursue, then you must be able to live with some amount of discomfort in order to do that. 3. Move more literally. Staying still means metaphorically staying still. Maybe you get up in the morning, get in your car, drive to work, and then walk from the parking lot to the elevator. Then, you take a few small steps to your desk and barely move from it for the next 8, 9, 10 or more hours. After that's over, you go through the same process in reverse to get home. You feel wiped out by a stressful day and don't want to do anything except eat pizza, drink beer, and collapse in front of the TV. Sound familiar? If you rarely feel energized physically, you'll struggle to feel energized mentally. Getting your heart pumping and your legs moving helps you feel good about yourself. Exercise is a massive stress reliever and can even help you get rid of anxiety and depression. When you feel active and healthy, you feel more open to new possibilities. When your body feels slow and inactive, so does your mind. You'll struggle to focus on creating and achieving goals, and you'll find it hard to know what you want to do with your life. If running or gym going isn't your thing, don't be put off. A long, brisk walk in the fresh air can be enough to make a real difference. Or you could get out there and try something totally new, something that doesn't feel like exercise at all. Try scuba diving, climbing, geocaching, or horse riding. Anything new and challenging will help you meet people, uncover different perspectives, and keep your mind and body sharp. Sharp enough to make the big, brave changes you're going to want to make. 4. Overcome distractions and stop procrastinating. You're not getting younger. Sorry, but it's true. If you don't start taking the time to pursue your dreams, you might find yourself at the end of your life with nothing to show for it, but a lot of Facebook posts and a bunch of TV shows you just had to watch. If you are serious about pursuing a dream, whether it's designing jewelry, professional skateboarding, or being a rich and famous computer guru, you better get on it. Take those first steps. Turn off your Facebook notifications and get working. You won't get anywhere merely thinking about how great you could be. 5. Ask yourself questions. Take some time for yourself. Ask yourself big questions and small ones. Learn about yourself. Meditate. Write down the things that interest you and things you could see yourself doing if time and money were no object. Dream big. Quiet your mind and really imagine yourself doing those things. By asking yourself meaningful questions, you're building yourself an invincible motivation engine like this, and whenever challenges arise, you know how to deal with them. 6. Volunteer or shadow someone. If there is a job or hobby you are interested in, from grooming dogs to being a zookeeper, volunteer or job shadow, and see if it's an occupation you really want to do. All the dreaming in the world isn't going to help you if you don't go and get your hands dirty. Sometimes we think we want to do something, and then once we try it, we realize it might not be the kind of work we like after all. Or it might be more involved than we realized. It's important to get hands-on experience and do a lot of reading by those with first-hand experience before we give up our current life to pursue a dream. 7. Identify life patterns that are causing problems. We all have life patterns that hold some answers for us about what is working and what isn't. I finally recognized a destructive pattern in my life and changed it. I didn't particularly appreciate working in an office with a boss leaning over my shoulder. It took me years to identify this pattern of failure that always led to me quitting. Since realizing this important fact, I have learned to adjust when looking for career opportunities. Now that I'm self-aware, I no longer put myself in that position. Life patterns in relationships can also provide clues about the best ways to move forward. If you are always falling in love with a person you need to rescue or change, that is a clue. While not all patterns are bad, if things aren't working out, then check for patterns. 8. Keep the faith that you will find what you want. Giving up on your dreams is not an option. You deserve to have what you want in life. A satisfying career and a wonderful relationship are within reach. It may take some time, or you might waltz into the perfect fit once you know what you want. Depending on the urgency of the situation, you should take the discovery time you need. Whatever you do, be sure to get closer to your ideal career or relationship. 9. Honor your values in all decisions. Situations that run counter to your value system can arise in both business and at home. When this happens, you can quickly feel like you're in crisis mode. I've run into this problem on multiple occasions. We are complicated creatures with moral codes that define us to a large extent. Under no circumstances should you feel forced to compromise your morals for a company or a relationship. That's why it is helpful to approach new situations keeping this fact in mind. Too many business enterprises will do anything to get ahead. I have witnessed much deception in sales with companies that overpromise and underdeliver. This is unacceptable to me, so I have come up with some questions to ask upfront. Nothing is foolproof in terms of knowing for sure what you are getting into with a new job. However, if you go into an interview with good questions, you can often get the information you need. Remember that you are interviewing them too. Your values must line up in personal relationships too if you want a future together. The health of your friendships, romantic liaisons, and working partnerships depend on having similar value systems. Clues about a person's morality are usually there if you look for them. Past behavior can be the best predictor of future behavior. If your new friend is always criticizing others, then there's a clue. You're probably next, once they get to know you better and let their guard down. 10. Sleep on it before making a hasty decision. When you are in pain, it is far too easy to grab any life raft that floats by. Unfortunately, a hasty decision can put you right back where you are soon. Even if you don't have weeks to think it over, try sleeping on it and make the decision the next day. Have you ever noticed how often you wake up with good ideas and answers to problems? There's a reason for that. When we go to bed with things on our mind, our subconscious goes to work on them while we sleep. You can't always count on this happening, but it's worth a shot. If nothing else, some extra sleep will give you a fresh outlook on the decision. By taking some extra time to think about something, it is less likely you will act impulsively. 11. Talk it over with a good friend or caring family member, 2 friends talking it out. There is no substitute for getting a second opinion about an important decision. Good friends can provide a fresh perspective and offer an objective view. Since we all have biases and can be blinded by them, we all need outside input. It is essential that you be open to what they have to say without being defensive. What makes their input so valuable is that it is honest. That's why you have to ask them to be brutally honest with you. Talking about your decision over with one or two trusted friends is always a good idea. Don't make the mistake of getting too many opinions. That much input can serve to confuse even more. 12. Take action and avoid analysis paralysis. Some people tend to put off deciding because they are afraid of making the wrong decision. While this is understandable, it can cause a big problem. Remember that choices don't have to be permanent, and that will take some of the pressure off. It is common to get cold feet when the decision seems so important. By taking a tiny step forward, you can gather more information. If you're not sure about a job, you should still go on the interview. The same advice applies to personal relationships. If you aren't sure about that potential romantic relationship, go ahead and go on a date. You don't have to have all the answers for a decision up front. 13. Ask yourself how you can contribute to the world. 2 volunteers taking a selfie. Most people have wondered about what the purpose of life. If you have blood flowing through your veins, you have more than likely asked yourself, why am I here? During times of change, you tend to consider the big life questions. I believe everybody has something important to give to the world. The good news is that many of your natural gifts can be monetized. If you were a math whiz in school, maybe you should try teaching. If you're good with your hands and problem solving, the world is waiting for your invention. We all have gifts that we ignore all too often. Look inside and think about ways you can serve, and you might realize your next career move. 14. Get honest with yourself about what you want from life. Until you are honest with yourself about what you really want, you're destined to be lost. It is common for people to drift through life trying to please others. This practice rarely makes you happy. I'm not suggesting you should disregard others in a selfish quest that will repel the essential people in your life. However, it is your life to live. You have to live it based on what you need and want in life. In your quest for a new career or relationship, there is no shortage of helpful guides. Some online courses and tests can help you get to know yourself better. Living in the age of information has its benefits.